Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. The fan is on. It's too warm today, for me anyway. So, as most of you know, in addition to being known as Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, Mr. Prosperity, I'm also known as the Tarot Man. And even though now more than ever I use tarot, I use oracle card decks and divination decks almost as much as I use tarot decks, I know which one I love more. I know which one butters my bread. You know, and the funny thing is, now more than ever, and I must thank my divine consort, at least in part for this. Now more than ever, I have developed a very strong affinity with tarot bags and tarot pouches and things like that. And I used to never it was never a big deal for me. But over the years, there are some tarot decks that the boxes in which they came either got bent or cut up or ripped apart or, bruised beyond repair. And, with most tarot decks, the cardboard box really isn't that thick or that sturdy. So anything could happen to it. And, I can honestly say that I have used more Scotch tape for putting together or keeping together tarot boxes, the original cardboard boxes, than I have any other task in my whole life. So anyway, I wanted to show you some of the ever-increasing amounts of tarot bags and tarot cases and tarot pouches that I have. I used to reserve this just for my personal favorite tarot decks and divination decks and whatnot. Now it's becoming like I can see virtually every tarot deck that I have having its own special case, bag, etc. So I'm going to start with the most recent one that I received. It's gorgeous. So her name is Ellie Moon, and she has an Etsy shop. And I'm somebody that, as much as I love modern technology, I love the personal touch. So that she sent me a card. And the card is from Bridget's Grove, which I'll be visiting this website today, let me tell you. And she wrote something really beautiful and personal in the inside. And I love that here are these goddess images, and in between them are the 8 lunar phases. And of course, she began crafting this tarot pouch, this mandala pouch, as she calls it, on a Monday, a day of the moon. So I'm going to show you the back of it. Now I'm going to show you the front of it. Ooh, I know, right? And look, I love that she added these moonstones and amethysts. And I don't get impressed by a lot. I really don't. And it's funny because originally I was going to tell her to use purple satin. And I'm like, oh, Robert, she knows. You don't need to tell her to use purple satin. She knows. She knew, obviously. I love this. And the funny thing is, originally this was going to house my newest copy of the Mother Peace Tarot, which is a round tarot deck. But it houses my copy of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, which I think is even more appropriate. And of course, I decided to use the original cloth that kept my copy of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, which, normally when I use silk cloths, I don't use anything like just black and white, even though I tend to wear more black with white than anything else these days. But I figured this, wrapped around this, there's that fan again, would be perfect, as you can see. I'm going to make it look nicer and neater later, but I'm just doing this for show. So I cannot thank you enough, Ellie Moon. I mean, you just blew me away. I'm somebody that doesn't get impressed that easily. and I don't get wowed that easily. But just this whole thing is just beyond gorgeous, and I'm gonna, and it's so funny because well, anyway. So I'm gonna show you some of the ones that I've acquired thus far. And I must apologize because I don't remember offhand all the ones, but I'll make sure to put the links in the description box, and then you'll see who they are and how to buy their stuff and all that other good stuff. So this one I love. This is from Italy. It was funny because the Etsy shop owner, this was the only one she had. Like, she doesn't have a lot of other tarot stuff. And I was just like, you know what, I can't pass this up. It's beautiful, and it's so funny. Of course, given that it's from Italy, I had to have an Italian deck in here. So I have the Minchiate Tarot, which is a tarot deck that I haven't used in a long time. But I figured that it fits in here because, it's not just 78 cards. So I love that it has this, I know this seems so silly, but it has this like purse-like thing. I love the gitana, with the mysterious cards covering up most of her face. And I tried. I cannot do this. I will not be like wearing it like off the shoulder like a messenger bag. So it's and I feel silly wearing it like this, so I'm not going to do that. But as a beautiful tarot bag, I love it. So this one I showcased in one of my previous videos, and I love the Arcana case. I love that it has the blue and the yellow, and I love the fact that it fits this tarot deck, which has blue and yellow in the back of the card design, perfectly in here. There's another one that I'm going to purchase from her Etsy shop that still better be there because I put the whammy on it so nobody else would buy it. And it's beautiful Indian silk. It's gotten a little bit, worn because I've been using this tarot deck a lot since I first acquired this tarot case, this Arcana case. And so far, this is the only one that I've purchased from Ellie Moon. This is the only one that I've purchased from this shop, from that shop, from, I'm going to put these over here, from these other shops, but they will be seeing me again. So I love this one. I mean, when I saw this one, I was just like, I gotta have this. And I love the celestial symbols. I love the rose cross. Well, it's not really a rose cross, but it's a rose cross-like design. And I love just the whole thing. I love the beaded thing. I love the golden hexagons with the cross design in the center on both sides. I love this whole thing. Now, I got to show you this one. I want to tell you this one I love. And with this one, I must admit, I'm embarrassed that I don't remember the Etsy shop seller name. But when I saw these ancient Egyptian lotuses, I was like, I'd be a fool not to buy this one. But let me tell you, of the whole thing, this is the part I love the most. I'm telling you, when I saw this, I was like, ooh. I was just like, oh my God. Really, it's so funny because, I mean, it really is funny because over the years, there are professional psychics and professional light workers that have referred to me as a collector of decks, and I am. But I insist on using those decks. At least 90% of all the tarot and divination decks that I purchase, I use. Some of them I use just for me. By the way, any of these that are for my exclusive use, you're not going to see in a video, because if I'm not going to use the deck with clients, and I'm not going to use store the deck that I'm going to use with clients in the pouch that I'm going to use with clients, then you're not going to see it. The ones that are just for me are just for me. But yeah, this whole thing, I must have played with this for like 5 minutes, seriously, because I was like, ooh. I was going crazy. I felt like a little kid. Like a very, very happy, magical kid. I love this whole thing. I love the fact that these little beads are multicolored. They have this iridescent quality to them, and you know, it's like you hold it up to the light and you see this color, you see that color. I love this whole thing. I love the palm trees in the inside. It's funny. It's one of the few that I've purchased that doesn't have part silk. But I love doing this. I mean, I love doing this whole thing. You know, I mean, really, I must have done this, you know, unwrapping and wrapping and unwrapping for at least 5 minutes as well. And of course, there is an Egyptian-themed tarot deck in here. Okay, so those are the ones that I've purchased thus far from one particular Etsy shop. Now I'm going to show you the ones that I purchased from my personal favorite, and please, to all of you other Etsy shop owners, please don't be upset. I have no doubt that if I buy from you, I'm going to buy from you again. If I have not purchased from you yet, I'm sure that I will. But there is one that really has meant most to me of all the tarot bag Etsy shops that I go to, and that's Wild Child Creations. I love Ona. Ona is so badass. She's so beautiful. I love her energy. I love how intuitive she is. I love all her stuff. I have purchased more tarot bags from her than any other Etsy shop combined. And so I'm going to show you the newest ones, because these are the newest ones. So look at this. I mean, isn't it gorgeous? And I happen to love Dupioni silk. Well, I happen to love silk, period. But Dupioni silk, I especially love. And you know, it's so funny because for the longest time, I was like, the moon can stand by herself. She doesn't have to have the sun next to her. And yet, lately, I've been finding myself so drawn to these celestial symbols. I love this rich royal purple sky. I love how the gold in the design matches the gold of the Dupioni silk. Now this I especially love, and I haven't used it yet because I'm reserving it for a very special tarot deck, one that I'm going to use on a regular basis. I don't know which one it is yet. I must admit, sometimes I feel like I'm driving Ona, the owner of the Etsy shop Wild Child Creations, crazy, because it's like, you know, she wants to make sure that the fit is right, so she'll ask me, which tarot deck are you going to put in here? And I'm like, you know, sometimes I don't even know until it actually goes in there. So yes, so I love this. I love that some of the suns have the astrological wheel around it. This one, I love the concept. I love that what she wrote about this was that sometimes when you just want to pull a few cards, and you know what, there are times when I want to consult the Sacred Tarot, and I want to pull a few cards. I don't want to do a long, drawn-out reading. So this is what she calls the portamat. So it's long enough that I can lay out a few cards in a row. You know, like if I was giving a reading, I'd lay them out like, you know, I'm going to do this very haphazardly, so I apologize in advance. But here's where the deck goes, and then I'm laying them out like on my lap, and it's like card 1, card 2, card 3, final message card, and there you go. So I could see myself doing this, and it's funny because over the years I've met some fellow professional psychics that they like to check in and either give themselves a reading or give another person a reading, like a fellow professional psychic that's at a psychic fair, just as a way of getting themselves turned on energetically and psychically for the first paying client of the day. And I've done that, but usually what I like to do is I like to check in with myself, make sure that I'm grounded, centered, balanced, focused. So I could see myself using this for when I give readings at a psychic fair or some other public venue, and it's like, okay, let me do a check-in for myself, make sure that I'm in the right space. The other thing is that you know, some of these, interestingly enough, and I remember, I think it was the description for this or for something, for another one of Ona's Wild Child creations, where she wrote about using these tarot bags as gift bags for small gifts. And you know, it's so funny because I'm not really holiday minded. You know, I'm one of those people that I will buy someone a gift regardless of the month, regardless of the season, regardless of the occasion. I have been known to give I love you gifts, or thank you for being so awesome and badass in my life gifts to people that I love and adore, and it could be well past their birthday, it could be well past the holidays, it could be nowhere near their birthdays or the holidays. So, you know, I think that this is a great idea, and I'm so happy that Ona came up with it, where it's like, you know, just give somebody one of these you know, bags, and of course you could do this with any of the Etsy shops that I'm going to mention in the description box for this particular video. It doesn't have to be Ona's Wild Child Creations bags, just hers rather. I think it would be wonderful if it was, but you know, I don't want to offend anybody else when I mention this video. So so those are my newest ones, and Ona, if you're watching, yes, I am going to put a tarot deck in here at some point. I love that this pattern, this print, has these astrological wheels. So I am going to want to put an astrologically themed tarot deck, or maybe even divination deck in here, although knowing me, it's probably going to be a tarot deck. So here are some of the other ones that I have purchased from Ona. So I love this one because it depicts my celestial mother, the ancient Egyptian goddess Osset, who's more commonly known as Isis, who's also known as Ast, who has myriad titles like Isis Myrionimos, Lady of 10,000 Names, Mistress of Magic, Queen of Healers. I love that this was a custom-made job, or a custom-made item, and I had asked Ona to give me two different silks, because one is more a pearl gray, which is this one, and this one's more of a silver gray. I don't know if you can see it on the video. I'll find out. And I love that she's flanked by two lionesses. And she had also given me this beautiful layout cloth. And I love that it has a mummy with a face of a cat. I love that it has Nefertiti with a feline head. I love that it has Mark Antony with a feline head. Who am I forgetting? Oh, of course, Cleopatra. And Tutankhamun. See, this is a reminder I need to finally finish reading the Cleopatra series, Cleopatra's Daughter series of novels by Stephanie Dre. No, I have not finished it yet. I know. So there's that. Let me not cover up my celestial mother. So there are the two that I received and purchased. One after purchasing Doreen Virtue's Butterfly Oracle cards for life changes. I love these, and it's so funny because when I first purchased this, I was like, I wasn't thinking, I wasn't that mindful, and one would think I would be mindful because I'm always talking about people and their lack of mindfulness. But, you know, I didn't realize that the deck in the box will not fit in here. But that's okay, because this is when I use it with clients, and I'm going to use the cards and have them at the ready. This is when the deck is in repose, meaning that I'm not using it, because right now the cards are in their actual box. So when I'm not using the Butterfly Oracle cards for life changes, they go back in their box. I keep them together, obviously. It's a pair. Now, I want to show you something really quick. So, I purchased this postcard from Vistaprint a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, something like that. Now, notice the colors, okay? So, the following day, I saw this one from Wild Child Creations. Notice the colors, in case you need a reminder. Okay, I ordered these cards on a Sunday. I saw this the following Monday. Coincidence? Yeah, right. Okay. And then, of course, the very first two that I purchased from Ona, from Wild Child Creations. Stars in me are a theme, I know. I call this a gradient, but she refers to it as an ombre. And I love the dusty. Sorry. I love this. I love the sparkling. I love the midnight blue. This is still dirty. Coño. Okay, I'll take care of that off camera. And this one. This is my personal favorite because it's the first one that I purchased. And I love that it contains, and look at the, I love that it contains my copy of The Gaian Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert. Joanna Powell Colbert. And now I want to show you something. This was completely divinely orchestrated because look at the front, look at the back. This is the back of the card design. This was not like, I didn't even know this. So I'm like, yeah. I'm really excited about this. I could say more, but I actually don't have any more tarot bags and tarot pouches and things like that. But let's see. I want to quickly acknowledge the fact that I have exceeded 4,100 views on my YouTube channel. Yay! Some of you were like, how can you make that sound? Anyway, I thank you so much. I really enjoyed sharing my current lot of tarot bags and tarot pouches with all of you. And if any of you have any tarot bags and tarot pouches, please feel free to do a video reply. I haven't done any of those. One would think after 100 plus videos, I would invite people to do a video reply video. Have I done that yet? No, I'm doing it now. Now for the record, this is the third video that has yet to be uploaded. Of course, by the time it's uploaded, you'll be like, what is he talking about? It's uploaded because I'm watching it. No, but seriously, if you have any comments, please feel free to share them. If you have a favorite tarot bag or tarot pouch, please feel free to share that in the comments, because I have no doubt that the Etsy shop owners would love to see that as well, especially if it's theirs. And yes, I will be buying more. I've already purchased one from Ona, from Wild Child Creations, that I'm going to be giving to somebody as a gift. And that person is one of my YouTube channel subscribers, so I'm not going to show you what it is till later, after I give it to that person. Right, okay. So YouTube, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. I wish all of you many blessings, a beautiful night, and a wonder-filled, prosperous, and loving and healing week.